sports in Hastings, Nebraska. We present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, here we go again. Welcome to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, and welcome to a Wednesday, the 25th day of June for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, right here at your breakfast table, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get you up and get you going here this morning. A lot of Legion baseball to tell you about this morning. Hastings 5 Points Bank was in action against Grand Island Home Federal out at Duncan Field. Plus, Grand Island 5 Points Bank took on Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes last night in the juniors ball game. We'll talk about those contests coming up. Hastings Runs are going to be in action tonight against Lexington out at Duncan Field. Hastings Sodbusters, they played the Casper Spuds again last night in Casper. Tampa Bay Rays and the Kansas City Royals met last night at Kauffman Stadium down in Kansas City. Of course, we had the big St. Louis and Chicago series continuing in St. Louis last night. And the NCAA is considering a proposal to expand the men's and women's college basketball tournaments to no more than 76 teams. And that decision could be made here in the next couple of weeks. It would begin with the expansion for the 2025-2026 season. So we'll talk about all that stuff coming up during this hour. Plus, who knows what else might come up as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios here this morning. Good morning.
And a good morning. I promise you I am here. We are blacked out on the camera at the moment, but we should be up and operational soon. My camera computer and the phone line computer both decided that it was going to update at like 6:58 this morning. So we're installing some updates and hopefully be back in operational. And I'll see you soon. But in the meantime, we can chit-chat a little bit about, would you say 76 teams?
Now, how many teams play Division I college basketball? I think we
like 300-ish.
Yeah. So we're going to put a third of the teams into the NCAA basketball tournament for both the men and women. That's the latest proposal. They're going to talk about that in the next couple of weeks. If they decide on expansion, it would begin with the 2025-2026 season, which is the season coming up here for college basketball. Yeah, but the latest proposal has the tournament expanding from 68 teams to no more than 76 teams for this season.
Yikes. I thought 68 was a little high. Man, I remember like the good old days when it was just the field of 64 and that was your bracket. Like, we're going to have arrows pointing to the teams. Your bracket's going to be a mess come March if you expand that baby to 78. But more revenue, postseason basketball. And you gotta look at the revenue numbers and the ratings numbers, and they see a moneymaker in the NCAA basketball tournament by expanding that and prolonging that. So there you go.
363 evidently is 363 teams play NCAA Division I college basketball. So with this latest proposal, no more than 76 of those teams would make the NCAA tournament. You mentioned the 64 teams. They expanded to 64 teams in 1985.
Yep.
An additional team was added in 2001. And the expansion to the current 68-team format came back in 2011. So now they're debating 14 years later, we're going to add some more teams. Why not? Let's get up to 76, and hell, let's throw everybody in there. Throw everybody in there and have a big old tournament.
You get a postseason berth. You get a postseason berth. You get a postseason berth.
Could you imagine what the rest of the field is going to be for, like, the Crown and the NIT?
Gross.
If we add these additional teams into the NCAA tournament, That knocks out the first 76. And then you've got the NIT and the Crown taking the remainder of the teams. Hell, if you get to 500 or close to 500, you're in.
It's more disappointing not to make the postseason at this point.
It'd be embarrassing.
Can you imagine?
If you were one of the teams left out of the 3 tournaments, that would be embarrassing.
78. Then you take 32 for NIT. You take 16 for the Crown. And so that's what, 40.
Take your shoes off. Use your toes. That's a lot of teams.
2/3 of the field make the postseason. Like, you have to be miserably bad and awful at basketball to not have a postseason appearance, which I guess is basically like it is in football now. I mean, hell, you get 500 teams and sometimes sub-500 teams that make the postseason just because they get to that magic number of 6 wins. And, like, half of the college football field or more makes the postseason. So just going right along with the Joneses, trying to make a little revenue.
All right, 402.
76 is way high, though.
By the way, welcome. Your camera is on now. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. If you'd like to chime in with us here today, 402-834-1330. That's our fan line. That's our center of discussion, I guess, this morning, is the latest NCAA proposal to expand the basketball tournaments to no more than 76 teams beginning this year. Is that something you'd like to see? Or is the current format with the 68 teams good enough? Do we want to expand the NCAA men's and women's college basketball tournaments to no more than 76 teams? If you'd like to chime in, give us a call, 402-834-1330, or leave us a message on our social media sites. Give us your feelings on that. A couple of other things I want to bring up here right early. Dallas Mavericks all-star guard Kyrie Irving is declining his $43 million option and intends to sign a 3-year, $119 million contract with the franchise.
Okay.
The deal essentially keeps him out of free agency and in Dallas long term. The new deal includes a player option for the 2027-2028 season. He averaged 24.7 points, 4.8 rebounds, 4.6 assists last season before sustaining a season-ending ACL tear in his left knee in March. Irving, who is 33, will sit out the start of the 2025-2026 season, but is hopeful to return as soon as January. So Kyrie Irving going to be staying in Dallas for quite some time. He nixes his $43 million player option for this year. Instead, he'll stay on, sign a new 3-year, $119 million contract with the Dallas Mavericks. And now that the NBA season is over, a lot of these guys will be negotiating contracts and jumping from team to team and free agency. That's just the start. Kyrie Irving says he's staying with Dallas.
Speaking of that, Kristaps Porzingis on the move. 3-way trade. He's going to head over to, I believe, the Atlanta Hawks. Second big kind of blockbuster trade, if you will, in the NBA, or second big name to move. He had the KD news the other day as he goes over to the Houston Rockets, and the Hawks are going to try to load up. They'll get big man Kristaps Porzingis. He's great when he's healthy. He's incredible when he's healthy. When he's hurt, just a big old pile of cash sitting on the bench. But, yeah, Porzingis over to the Hawks. So that made some headlines there as the NBA continues to make moves. Let's ruffle our feathers, shall we? Can we get a welfare check today on Chief and Lou? How you guys doing over there? Cardinals are 2-0, baby. And probably the best game I think I watched all season long was yesterday with Cubs Cards. What a game. McGreevy gets roughed up a little bit. The Cubs touch him up. You get the 3-run shot from Seiya Suzuki. The big down-the-line hit from Tuck. And Cubs take the lead, and they're flexing a little bit. And I'm thinking, oh, no, here we go again. We're going to split this first 2 games of the series. What I've been really impressed with watching Cardinals baseball this year is their ability to counterpunch. Like, you hit them in the face, and they're going to come right back. And Lars and Winnie both delivering in the clutch, getting some big flies. Nolan's play to end the game. I don't know if you saw my Facebook yet this morning, Mike. Nolan, with a runner moving from second to third in his general direction, is able to barehand a baseball and get it across the diamond. Just a superhuman play at third base. He's the best defensive third baseman in the game still to this day because he's making plays like that. That secures the save for Helsley. Cardinals win the game by 1. Cardinals win the first 2 games of the series. Cardinals are now just 2.5 back from Chicago. And here in the thick of summer, in the heat of summer, like I said the last couple of years with this rivalry, it is so much better. It is so much more fun to watch when the Cubs and Cards towards the top of the NL Central standings. That makes that rivalry meaningful. I think it's lost a little bit of luster over the past couple of years just because the Cubs and Cards have been down. But now you've got them up towards the top of the Central standings, and it's been fun baseball. And these two teams play some pretty classic games when they're playing fun baseball, and we saw that again last night.
I see you've got your Cardinals attire on today.
I'm rocking the Cards attire.
So the Cards have won the first 2 games of the series. That's a 4-game series, so
4-gamer.
They've got 2 more games to go. I expect to maybe hear from some of those Chicago Cubs fans today.
They've been pretty quiet today.
Yes, they have been. Usually they chime in quite frequently on our little chat line here. They've been real quiet this week, so maybe Lou Dog and the Chief, maybe they'll chime in here this morning. Tim has already sent us a little text.
Tim needs to calm down a little bit.
Evidently, Stroman is leading you in fantasy baseball this
by
week.
1 point.
After all of his players, 5 or 6 players on his roster are injured. He's leading you in fantasy baseball this week, and he's already chirping in this morning. He continues to lead you.
He had 5 or 6 of his guys injured like 2 weeks ago. He's since made some roster modifications and adjustments. You wouldn't know just in time to play me. However, I will say this. We didn't have a lot of guys going Monday, so he was able to kind of jump out to a little bit of lead. I think that was kind of misleading. See what I did there? Misleading for him. We have since come back with a vengeance. We rocked it yesterday. Starting pitching was amazing. Got another just incredible performance from these guys. And then we flip over to the offensive side of things. Good numbers. We're within 1. It's 88-87. I got 3 guys on the bump today. Fedde against Chicago. Mason Gore against his former team in the San Diego Padres. And, of course, it's Paul Skeens Day. We'll see if the Pirates can't give him some run support and get a win perchance for the best pitcher in baseball. But I got 3 guys going today. I got good confidence. We're going to go up and around old Timmy Boy here in the middle of the week.
So you're head-to-head with him this week?
Yeah, we're head-to-head in baseball this week.
Good luck.
A little trash talk. Lou Dog's chiming in. Fun baseball, was loving it until they got right back. And they did. I mean, it was such a quick response. And you're thinking, wow, Chicago just, they flexed for 4. It's a 4-1 ball game. And, the oh no, here we go again. Cardinals mentality kind of starts to set in a little bit. But this offense is just built different. It responds. And it's really exciting baseball to watch. When you have a team that gets knocked up for a couple runs in the top half of the frame, and then immediately punches right back, and it's a 1-run ball game. I mean, it keeps it watchable throughout 9 innings of baseball, and that's what we had was just a thriller last night. I mean, it was one of those where it's rare in baseball when you're locked in to like every single pitch because A, it's a rivalry, B, it's the top 2 teams in the standings, and I know it's only mid-June, but it has that kind of postseason feel to it. I was locked in from the very first pitch last night. I mean, just dialed in and saw 9 innings of damn good baseball. And more importantly, they're flying the L in Chicago as they lose the first 2 to St. Louis. And I'm not saying that St. Louis is going to come out and steamroll the Cubs this series. I know how talented Chicago is. They had a little brain fart defensively. We talked about Pete Crow Armstrong and his abilities. just coming up last year as a rookie and what he's been able to do after that trade from Boston. And he's a dynamic baseball player. He's fun to watch, but he also makes kind of rookie mistakes. And we saw one last night in center field. Makes the catch on the what was just a long fly ball to center, 1 out. Cardinals had a runner on second. Pete Crow Armstrong thought it was the 3rd out, was kind of walking back towards the infield. Mason Wynn ends up getting a sac fly out of the entire ordeal as he's able to wheel around third. So a sacrifice fly with a guy on second, like when's the last time you've seen that in a baseball game? You got to be aware of the out situation, and that ultimately gave the Cardinals the go-ahead and winning run. So, yeah, fun baseball last night in Busch. We'll see if Cardinals can't pick up 3. That would be huge. You pick up a series from Chicago.
I am ODing on St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
That's good.
I'm ODing.
It was the best game of the night. It was probably one of the best games of the season. And quite frankly, we don't have a whole lot else things to talk about today. So
drink that Cardinals.
Drink the Cardinal Kool-Aid, baby.
The Cardinals Kool-Aid. Anyway, they win last night 8-7 over the Cubs. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers
We're calling him quarterback now?
pretty sure the 2025 season will be his final NFL season. He's pretty sure of that. In
That's
an interview on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, Rodgers said he is likely concluding a career that spanned more than 2 decades with a final year at Pittsburgh. He's the Packers, obviously the franchise leader in touchdown passes, completion percentage, passer rating, ranked second behind Brett Favre in passing yards and completions. Of course, he spent 2 years with the Jets that were not very good. Left Green Bay, joined the Jets, got injured, tore his Achilles in his first couple of snaps of the 2023 season. Came back last year, went 5-12, missed the playoffs in 2024, and has since joined the Pittsburgh Steelers. Well, the Jets will host the Steelers in Week 1 this year's NFL season, and Rodgers will face Green Bay for the first time this season in Week 8 on Sunday Night Football. So maybe by then it's going to be firmly entrenched. This will be Aaron Rodgers' final season. He gets to play his 2 former teams, the Jets and the Packers, in the first 8 weeks of the NFL season this year, and both are in prime time, you might know.
You're assuming that Rodgers is going to be healthy enough to make it for the Week 8 matchup against the Packers, which is assuming a lot given his recent health history. So, yeah. What did he say? Pretty sure.
Pretty sure
This
will be his final year.
Yeah, man, Pittsburgh had Fields.
He's only on a 1-year contract though with Pittsburgh, so
they had Fields. They gave up both good options at quarterback to get nothing in return. Ugh.
Aaron Rodgers.
It's gross.
So, anyway, those are some of the sports headlines we're talking about here this morning. If you'd like to chime in, you can. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. A lot of baseball talk here today. 402-834-1330. If you'd like to leave us a message on our social media sites, you can do that as well. Stumbled across this right after we got off of the show yesterday. ESPN has come out with their predictions for the Big Ten college football this year and what
Talk to me, Goose.
the records might be for this year. And it was kind of interesting to note here. ESPN has predicted the records for all the Big Ten college football teams this year. At the bottom of the stack, you've got Purdue.
Sure.
Purdue, they predict to go 3-9 this year. Northwestern, 4-8.
Okay.
They've got a slug of teams in there at 5-7.
Minnesota.
Not included.
Really? Higher aspirations for PJ Fleck, huh?
They've got Maryland, Rutgers,
Michigan State,
Wisconsin,
Ooh.
and UCLA.
Sure.
Got all those teams in there at 5 and 7.
Okay.
They've got 3 teams predicted to go 6 and 6 in the Big Ten this year. Minnesota,
There they are.
Illinois,
USC.
Iowa.
Ooh.
They've got 3 teams predicted to go 7 and 5 this year in college football.
USC.
Nope.
Oh, they're hyping up a bad USC team again. Okay, that's fine.
Indiana,
Oh, gross.
Washington, Nebraska.
7 and 5.
7 and 5 is what
Get
ESPN.
out of here.
That's what they say.
That's awful.
ESPN predicting Nebraska will go 7 and 5 this year. Put the roulette down.
They don't
Put
know.
the roulette down.
That's kind of 2 kicks to the junk. We had that from ESPN, 7 and 5. EA Sports, the makers of the college football video game, this been fighting words to the gaming community and I think the Husker fan base community at large. They came out with their top 25 toughest stadiums that are going to be in the game of college football 26 this year, which releases in a couple weeks in July. Memorial Stadium, you want to know where they ranked on the top 25 list?
I think I saw that this morning, like 6 or 7.
No,
Not at all.
we didn't.
That was somebody else's Memorial Stadium.
We were remiss.
We weren't included on the top 25.
Yeah, Kinnick Stadium was like 16th in Iowa. They were 16th. We weren't even in the conversation. Like, they
Really?
forgot about Little Big Ol' Red. They forgot about that Colorado game when the fans literally won the game for the football team because the atmosphere was incredible.
Yeah, but we've lost some real bloopers here at Memorial Stadium the past couple of years.
It's still one of the most rabid fan bases and one of the most electric atmospheres on game day. It's still a place you don't want to go and play. Couldn't even get in the top 25 in the toughest.
Remember those losses that we took when Scott Frost was here?
Well, they don't count.
They don't count.
They don't count. It's current places you don't want to go. We should be in the top 25 in that category, especially in a night game.
So who's on top of the list? LSU?
Oh, hell, I don't remember. I think so.
I think it was LSU. I think I saw this morning.
I just saw that we weren't on it, and
You dive into that. Let me
I got
conclude.
the list right here. Hang on. There we go.
Now we got 2 different things going. I haven't concluded my list.
Oh, I'm sorry. I stopped after you said Nebraska was only going to win 7 games because at that point the list was irrelevant. But go ahead. Finish your
You
list.
shut me down. You shut me down with the remainder of my list.
That's what I do.
So we had Nebraska, Indiana,
Yes.
and Washington predicted to go 7 and 5 according to ESPN this year.
Uh-huh.
Then they got 2 teams at 8 and 4.
Okay.
Michigan
Ugh.
and USC.
Michigan, huh?
And USC. Then they've got 3 teams predicted to go 10 and 2 this year in college football.
Do we only have 3 left?
Yeah, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon. So they already have it. ESPN out with their predictions, their early predictions. College football, Big Ten Conference. They ranked every Big Ten Conference team here. Nebraska, they got projected to go 7 and 5 this year. That's another thing that you can chime in on our fan line. 7 and 5. We win more games than 7.
Yes.
We win less games than 7. Chime in on our fan line if you'd like, 402-834-1330, or you can leave us a message on our social media sites. More wins for Nebraska than 7 or less than 7?
If that's the line in Vegas, I'm taking my house and putting it on more on the overs. Like, where do you get 5 out of that schedule? Where are we losing 5 unless we just totally shove our head up our ass? I mean, like, I don't see it. 5 losses. The schedule sets up nicely.
This is all according to ESPN.
Well, according to EA Sports, the top places to play. Let's work our way from, let's go 10, shall we?
Yeah, go top 10.
Michigan Stadium, the Maize and Blue, Michigan Stadium coming in at 10. They're rocking Autzen Stadium, the home of the Ducks, coming in at 9. So 2 Big Ten teams making the list. The Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium coming in at number 8. Boomer Sooner. I don't agree with this based on recent history. We want to talk about recent history. Ben Hill Griffith Stadium, the Swamp, the home of the Gators. They've had some real clunkers on the Swamp, so don't tell me it's been on recent history and play. Memorial Stadium for Clemson, Howard's Rock. The great environment with Clemson coming off the bus. They're in at 6. Bryant Denny, Roll Tide, Alabama coming in at number 5. Between the Hedges in Georgia, they're at 4. They're dotting the I with Ohio Stadium in at number 3, so another Big Ten team making the list. Beaver Stadium, number 2, the home of the Penn State Nittany Lions. So 4 Big Ten teams in the top 10, and then Tiger Stadium, Death Valley, LSU.
I guess I can't argue with LSU being the top.
I can't either, but I can argue with Spartan Stadium, Boone Pickens Stadium, Carter Finley Stadium, Rice Eccles Stadium, the home of the Houston Cougars, and Kinnick Stadium, all being in front of Nebraska. That I can argue.
So Nebraska's not on the list at all.
We're not even making the list.
Wow.
I think they just did it to fire up the Husker fan base.
Maybe they just forgot us.
It's cannon fodder.
So, who was that a list provided by?
That was EA Sports.
Oh.
Those are going to be the top 25 toughest stadiums to play in college football 26. It's in the game.
I want to talk about that game coming up here. So
I love that game. We can talk all about
keep
that
that
game.
in mind. We'll do that after our news break here. Okay. Already 7:27. You're listening to Mike and Tyson. This is Extreme Sports. Huddle up.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Today's topic, fireworks. As fireworks sales will begin on Saturday within the Hastings city limits under the city code. Permissible fireworks may be sold and ignited between 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. from Saturday until July 2nd, and then from 10 a.m. until midnight on July 3rd and 4th. Fireworks may not be used on any public street, alley, sidewalk, park, or other property owned by the city of Hastings without a special permit issued by Hastings Fire and Rescue. Hastings Fire and Rescue also reminds everyone to remain diligent to prevent fires and burn injuries, and asks adults only to light or supervise fireworks and everyone to soak up used fireworks in a bucket of water overnight. Meanwhile, the City of Hastings Independence Day celebration begins at 5:30 on the 4th of July at Brickyard Park. Food and drink will go on sale at 5:30. Musician Rascal Martinez take the stage at 7 p.m. After the sun sets, we will light up the sky with the annual fireworks show. The annual 4th of July parade at Fisher Fountain, organized by the YWCA of Adams County, is also taking place. Activities and games beginning at Fisher Fountain from 10:30 until 1 p.m. In addition to the annual Independence Day activities at Fisher Fountain, such as the bicycle parade, the City of Hastings will also be recognizing 2 pieces of local history, as this marks the 100th birthday for Well 4 and the 110th birthday for Well 1, both on site near Fisher Fountain. To celebrate those milestone birthdays, Water Crews with Hastings Utilities will display a poster titled History of Water Service in Hastings, as well as modest decorations at each of the 2 wells. It is coming up on 7:30. We'll spin things back over your way, Mike. What's going down in sports?
Well, a lot of American Legion baseball played around the area last night. Hastings 5 Points Bank beat Grand Island Home Federal 4-1 in a game played out at Duncan Field. Carlos Jimenez was the winning pitcher. He threw 6 innings and gave up 1 run on 3 hits. He struck out 6 and walked 4. Isaiah Shaw had 3 hits and an RBI for the Chiefs. Chance Burton had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Gabe Ruiz took the loss for Grand Island. Home Federal is now 13-11 on the season. Hastings is 18-5. Grand Island 5 Points Bank scored 3 runs in the 7th inning. to beat Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes 5-2. Karsten Cook was the winning pitcher. Trenton DeGott took the loss. Keegan Inks had 3 hits for Grand Island. They improved to 16-10 in the season. Hastings falls to 12-6. Hastings will play at North Platte tonight. The juniors game is at 5 with the seniors to follow at 7:30. We'll have both games here on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 4:45. Hastings Runs will also be in action tonight. They'll play host to Lexington out at Duncan Field. First pitch will be at 6. Other games last night, North Platte GP Health beat Kearney Miscos by the score of 2-1. The Casper Spuds beat the Hastings Sodbusters 7-5 last night in Casper. The Sodbusters are now 15-10 in the season. Same two teams will play at 6:30 tonight. Tampa Bay Rays beat Kansas City 5-1 last night in Major League Baseball. Same two teams will play at 6:40 tonight. And as Tyson mentioned, St. Louis picking up another win over the Chicago Cubs last night as the Cards beat the Cubs by the score of 8-7. That to check in your sports headlines, 7:31 now in Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Sunshine returns throughout the morning hours and leads us to a high of 90 degrees. The winds will be a little breezy, south-southwest wind at 10 to 15, gusting to 25 miles per hour. Looks like overnight we picked up about a quarter of an inch of rain as well. Overnight tonight we'll have a chance of a few passing storms and a low of 69. 86 the high on Thursday. Once again, we'll have a chance of some scattered storms as well. 63 Thursday night, 92 on Friday, and 95 on Saturday.
Right now, as you wake up, get going, we've got south winds at 10 miles per hour. It is partly cloudy. It is 70 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Cam Raceway brings the action every Friday night with high-speed thrills and dirt-flying excitement for the whole family. From A-class and non-wing warriors to junior sprints, junior cage karts, and flat karts, there's something for every race fan to cheer for. Grandstands open at 7. Ages 13 and up are just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free. Want to be part of the action? Pit passes are just $20, with gates opening at 5:30. And mark your calendars. June 27th and 28th, the now 600 National Series comes to town, featuring drivers from all over the nation and some of the best racing you'll see all season. Cam Raceway, where the dirt flies and legends are made.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
You are listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Wednesday. Again, thanks for joining us, whether you're listening to us online at our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with your free mobile app, on your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. Need to tell you about Moletta Vista Winery up in St. Paul. They're going to be open during the 4th of July holiday weekend, so you can celebrate with the folks up at Moletta Vista Winery in St. Paul. The hours next week on Friday and Saturday will be from 11:30 until 9 o'clock. They'll be serving both lunch and dinner next Friday and Saturday. Next Sunday during the 4th of July weekend, they'll be open from 11:30 until 3, serving lunch at the winery. So you can enjoy the full menu along with wine, beer, and spirits, slushies, and cocktails, and, of course, a view that runs for miles and miles around. I was up there just last week or so. Beautiful little operation up there at the Moletta Vista Winery in St. Paul. So stop by, relax, sip, and savor the weekend with the folks at Moletta Vista Winery in St. Paul, all during your 4th of July holiday weekend coming up next week. No better way than to relax out on the patio, look over the basin there.
A little workhorse in hand.
Yeah, have a little little cocktail in hand, maybe a wine or a special cocktail of your choice.
There you go. Today, June 25th, we're celebrating the Beatles with their global broadcast from June 25th, 1967, where they broadcast All You Need Is Love. So it is Global Beatles Day today. It is also National Catfish Day, proclaimed back in 1987 to celebrate the catfish. National Strawberry Parfait Day today, and National Color TV, celebrating the invention of the color television.
God, when was that? When did color TV be invented?
Wasn't it Wizard of Oz? Like the 60s?
Back in, I don't know, when was color TV invented?
Like Wizard of Oz was like the first movie or musical to like switch from black and white to color halfway through.
Did you, growing up, did you have a black and white TV? Or you did?
I did. It was my very first TV. It was a black and white TV. It was the one that had 3 channels. And you had to, it didn't have a remote, so you had to like actually.
Oh yeah, get up and turn the knob.
Yep. And she was black and white.
I didn't know if that was before or after you really got out of grade school.
No, I mean, we had like all the main TVs were color TVs in the house, but like my own personal TV that I got when I was younger, just having my room was a black and white TV.
All right, so you're old like the rest of us.
I always thought the Raiders were black and white till I realized they're black and silver.
You thought the Chiefs were black and white.
It's just like, who are these teams?
Then you saw it on color TV. You thought, wow. Yeah, black and white TVs.
Mm-hmm.
We've come a long, long way since then, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Now we're talking about streaming and trying to figure out streaming services for TV. Got the streaming services for audio as well, and we enjoy that.
We're having a blast.
So
Live lobby chiming in. Lou Dog, not really concerned about Game 3 tonight. He's got Boyd back on the hill. He's going up against Palante, though. I love the pitching matchup tonight. I got Palante started. Stroman says, what have we done in-game to get us above 7-5? It's going to be close to that, in my opinion. Says he thinks the stadium also comes into play with our 7-5 record. Ouch. And then Aunt Laura saying, yay, Beatles.
Aunt Laura chiming in again from Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
She told me yesterday, she sent us a couple of texts, that she's really not a Bears fan.
No.
In Illinois. she leans a little bit to the Chiefs on occasion. How do you lean toward a team on occasion? Like just every once in a while she cheers for the Chiefs?
Don't really have an NFL team, so you just kind of watch.
Whatever's on the tube, and occasionally she'll cheer for the Chiefs.
Yep.
So
she used to be the St. Louis Rams, I'm guessing.
But she's in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
She has no favoritism toward the Chicago Bears?
No. No, if you're from St. Louis, like, Chi-Town is not a possible outcome of your favorite teams.
Really?
Anything in Chi-Town. There's that St. Louis-Chicago rivalry. Everything from pizza to baseball.
All right, so she's just hanging out. Amber's chiming in. Years between 46 and 50. The hell's that mean?
I'm guessing the color TV.
Color TV was invented between 1946 and 1950.
That was a hell of a lot later than that.
Yeah.
I was thinking 60s.
That must be something else. Years between 46 and 50.
Mm-hmm.
Amber's chiming on that. Wanted to bring up this NCAA game that's going to debut on July the 15th.
Yep. I already pre-ordered it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've got to get the particulars. I was supposed to get the particulars on this game.
Uh-huh.
Because little grandson thinks he needs this game.
Yeah, he does.
He does need it?
Yep. I'm 40 and I need it.
So this is the 2026 version with all the latest rosters, and you said even the stuff that we pull off at Memorial Stadium, like during the third quarter, is being included on this thing?
The drone show will be there. The light show will be there. The Boneyard will be out in effect. They've even got the Pop-Tart mascot for the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Really?
In the game.
You got all the latest coaches and everybody's on this thing?
All the coaches will be head coaches unless I think like Prime and Belichick, they have like special agents that they're not taking revenue, so I don't think Prime and Billy are. But you got Holgerson's in the game, Butler's in the game, the two coordinators for Nebraska, Rule, obviously. They did him dirty on the graphics. Like, he's looking more like a Mark Mangino than he is a Matt Rule, which is unfortunate. He's not that big, but they made
him a big guy.
They made him a little obese, unfortunately. But yeah, you got all the coaches in there. There's like 345 different formations for your playbook this year that they're throwing in.
So this is something that my grandson needs.
Oh, yeah. Was he turning 10?
Yeah, he's turning 10.
Mm-hmm.
So he needs this game?
Mm-hmm. Be a good grandpa.
Now, how much is this going to set me back?
Well, it depends.
And that's what I was supposed to ask. I think there's like 3 or 4 levels or 2 or 3 levels of this thing.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend?
Just the standard version.
The standard version would be enough?
Just the standard $65 version. There's the like $79 bundle, which also includes Madden, so that you can transfer all of your Dynasty players, like all of your seniors that graduate can transfer and go into the draft pool for Madden. You can do that. You can do like the My Career and start a guy in high school and work him all the way up through college ranks in the recruiting process, and you can graduate after winning a Heisman Trophy and get drafted into Madden. You don't necessarily need that. And then there's like the EA package for like the Ultimate Teams, which is basically a pyramid scheme of really bad online video gaming that I don't like. Just play the online Dynasty, so don't worry about like that extra EA packages to get you jump started. Those are just cheaters, and it costs you a lot of money. Just the standard $65 version would be solid.
All right, so $65 will put me back.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got a birthday coming up.
Oh, you're going to be a good grandpa.
Of course, he's probably listening to this show, so I just spoiled everything.
He knows what he's getting.
But I was supposed to ask you about it, so no better way to ask you about it than on this show.
It's going to be great.
$65.
Yep. Should put him in our online dynasty we're starting. Dakota, myself, Padre Ryan.
Amber's chiming in. Did you bundle it?
Nope. Just getting the standard version.
$65.
Because that's all I need is the standard version. I don't need. Listen, when you have the college football game, and here's what I know about the college football game, because I've done that before. I've bundled it with the Madden, thinking, oh, I'll play this. Once you have college football, like, there's no better game. Like, I'm not switching over to play Madden, which is just a recreation of Madden 2004 with roster updates. I mean, they haven't done anything with that game in 20 years. And so I'm never, like, once you're settled into college football, like, you're locked in. And that's all you play. So there's really no reason to bundle it.
All right, so
Standard
there
version.
we go. $65.
Is he a PS user or a Xbox user? Begs the question. They're going to cross-platform it. It doesn't matter either way.
God, why are you asking me stuff like that?
Well, because I want to get him in my online dynasty so I have somebody to beat up on.
What's the options again?
The PlayStation or the Xbox.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Is he a PS5 or Xbox guy?
I think he's a PS5.
Oh, yeah. And just Venmo him some money so that he can order it on the online store.
And then he'll be able to play you?
He'll play me or just play the game in general, but
he could play you if he wanted to?
yeah. So if you Venmo him now, then he can digitally download it.
But you
So
can't get it
that
till
way
July 15th.
Well, I know, but it opens on July 15th. It's magic. It downloads all the hardware, so it's like ready to go. So midnight, July 15th, you hit go, and you're playing.
Yeah, but his birthday ain't till August 1st.
Early birthdays.
Just go ahead and do it.
Yeah. That's what he wants. That's what he needs.
$65.
I'm not even saying wants. That's what Riken needs. I'm on Team Riken here. I'm going to get you this game, buddy.
Does he need it or does he want it?
He needs it.
Is this a need or a want?
There's been many a times, like, where I have not had the budget to get the NCAA football video game.
You bought it anyway.
And it's a need. So you take all of your expenses that have coming up that you should probably be putting money towards, and you say, I'll figure that out later. I got to get this game first. It's a need.
So $65.
Amber says, pump the brakes. He can wait.
No, he can wait. Of course, I could get it all set for his game and not tell him, couldn't I?
You're going to know. It's going to show up on the lobby.
Really?
Yep.
So I couldn't, like, download it and get everything ready for August 1st. He's going to be gone anyway, August 1st.
Right? All the more reason to get it early.
Yeah, all right. So there I did my duty. I was supposed to ask you about it. See, Tyson's grandmother gave him Sports Illustrated subscription.
Who?
Your aunt is chiming in.
Oh, yeah.
Your aunt is chiming in from Illinois.
Okay. She's probably got all the dirt on little Tyson. We don't
do you
need
still have stacks of Sports Illustrated magazines?
Not so
God,
much
when was the
anymore.
last time you even looked at a magazine?
Been a dentist office, waiting room.
Your grandmother gave you a subscription to Sports Illustrated at one time.
I was a sports geek.
You probably have stacks of them still sitting in your closet.
I think they're downstairs in the basement, actually.
So you do still have them?
I think they're in a toter, yeah.
Your aunt is chiming in from Illinois, wanting to know if you still have your Sports Illustrated magazines.
Some of those covers are going to be worth something someday.
God. So you got them stashed in your basement?
Yep. In a toter.
What people save nowadays. That's why there are so many of these junk places that you just throw junk in.
Mm-hmm.
Storage facilities. That's why there's so many of those around town, because you think you're going to use those someday, or someday they could be worth some money, so you store them.
Yep.
People store stuff in those storage sheds, and they don't look in the storage shed for 10 years, but they keep paying the price for a monthly fee.
In case that magical day comes where you're going to need that.
Yeah.
Use that.
And in 15 years, they open it up and say, what the hell am I been paying money on this for? I'm just going to open up the shed and call the disposal company and have them throw all this junk away. But in the meantime, you have played 15 months of storage at a storage shed.
Sure.
So people do. People store a lot of junk these days.
So, like, I moved about 3 times in the span of 2 years from, like, community to community. Just was, like, hopping like a vagabond for a while. And here's what I can tell you. Like, my moving got significantly easier because the more and more I moved, the more and more I hated moving. And the more and more I'm like, if I haven't used this particular item in a year, it's going in the trash. And the last time that I moved from GI back to Hastings, like, we only needed one small U-Haul because I went through all of my stuff and I'm like, have I used this in a year? Nope, trash. Use this in a year? Nope, trash. And we were able to get everything in, like, a small compact U-Haul and bring it over here. One trip, real nice and easy. So I'm getting better at hoarding. I was really bad for a while.
Yeah, people should move once every couple of years just to do that.
Oh, God, no. That's awful.
Move every couple of years just to get rid of their junk.
That sounds horrible. Just have a garage sale.
Look around my office.
Dude, you have so much junk.
I know, just look around. People can see it.
But you need it all.
Yeah, I really don't. As I look around, I say, why do I have all this junk sitting around? I really don't need this stuff. I got like over there, I got a broken down fan.
Should probably get rid of the broken down fan.
I really don't need that. I know it runs, but it's a piece of crap.
Do you hoard stats too? This used to drive me nuts, like with sports guys when we had a dedicated sports office with 3 of us. And one guy in particular, I'm not naming names to protect the innocent, obviously, but he would keep like all of his stats dating back from like his first broadcast in 2003.
No.
Oh yeah. No. And he would refer to these stats as like a historical reference from like the point of his broadcast. Like, we haven't seen on this radio station this team lose by this much ever, because he kept all of those stats and he would bring that into his broadcast. And I'm like, that is so much. I mean, I admired the dedication and preparation, but I'm like, I'm not doing any of that crap. That looks awful.
And you don't need that. No one cares.
I mean, it sounds really pleasing when you can rattle off some knowledgeable stuff like that, but in the grand scheme of things, like, the people that are listening to my broadcasts just are listening for their grandson's name, right? Like, they just want to hear that he got on the field and made a good play. And so I don't deep dive on the stats that much. You won't see, like, the minute that the game gets over, my scorebook and my stats are going right in the trash.
I might save them for the year, just in case I might need to pull them out for something. I might save that stuff for like a year. But when the next year rolls around, they're in the trash.
They got to be, right?
They're in the trash.
Right? I mean,
I've been in this business for 30-plus years. Can you imagine me storing 30 years worth of stats on paper?
Some do.
In this office?
Some do, and it's wild.
Wow. Yeah, it's rolling along here. Mike and Tyson huddle up here on Extreme Sports. It's a Wednesday. Again, you can chime in if you like, 402-834-1330. We've covered a lot of topics here today. I don't know how newsworthy they are, but a lot of topics. If you'd like to chime in on the fan line, 402-834-1330. Leave us a message on one of our social media sites as well. 7:54 now in Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
All right, let's talk fireworks, shall we? Pyrotechnics, my favorite topic of the year. Fireworks sales begin on Saturday within the city of Hastings. Possible fireworks may be sold and ignited, or permissible, I should say. Fireworks may be sold and ignited from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. on Saturday through July 2nd, and then from 10 a.m. until midnight on July 3rd and 4th. Fireworks may not be used on any public street, alley, sidewalk, park, or other property owned by the City of Hastings without a special permit issued by the Hastings Fire and Rescue. Hastings Fire and Rescue would like to remind everyone to remain diligent to prevent fires and burns, saying that adults should light or supervise the fireworks, and everyone should soak up used fireworks in a bucket of water overnight. City of Hastings Independence Day celebration will begin at 5:30 at Brickyard Park. Food and drink will go on sale. Then musician Rascal Martinez takes the stage at 7 p.m. After the sun sets, the city will light up the sky with the annual fireworks display. The annual 4th of July Bike Parade at Fisher Fountain, organized by the YWCA, will take place from 10:30 until 1 p.m. In addition to the Independence Day activities at Fisher Fountain, such as the Bicycle Parade, the City of Hastings will also be recognizing two pieces of local history on the 4th, as this year marks the 100th birthday for Well 4 and the 110th birthday for Well 1, which are both on site near Fisher Fountain. To celebrate those milestone birthdays, water crew members from the city will be displaying a poster titled History of Water Service in Hastings, as well as modest decorations at each of the two wells. Happy birthday, Wells. 7:56. Let's swing things back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, American Legion baseball action last night. Hastings 5 Points Bank beat Grand Island by the score of 4-1 out at Duncan Field. Carlos Jimenez was the winning pitcher. He threw 6 innings, gave up 1 run and 3 base hits. He struck out 6 and walked 4. Isaiah Shaw had 3 hits and an RBI for the Chiefs. Chance Burton had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Gabe Ruiz took the loss for Grand Island. Home Federal now 13-11. Hastings is 18-5. In the juniors game, Grand Island 5 Points Bank scored 3 runs in the 7th to beat Hastings Johnson Imperial Homes by the score of 5-2. Grand Island now 16-10. Hastings falls to 12-6. Hastings will play at North Platte tonight. The juniors game is at 5 with the seniors to follow at 7:30. We'll have both games on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 4:45. Hastings Runs are also in action tonight. They'll play host to Lexington out at Duncan Field. First pitch will be at 6. Other action last night, North Platte GP Health beat Kearney Miscos by the score of 2-1. The Casper Spuds beat the Hastings Sodbusters 7-5 last night out in Casper. Sodbusters are now 15-10. Same two teams will play at 6:30 tonight. Tampa Bay Rays beat the Kansas City Royals 5-1 last night. Same two teams will play at 6:40 tonight. Also in Major League Baseball last night, the Cards, St. Louis, beating the Chicago Cubs by the score of 8-7. That's a check in your sports headlines coming up on 7:58 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Sunshine returns throughout the morning hours and leads us to a high of 90 degrees. The winds will be a little breezy, south-southwest wind at 10 to 15, gusting to 25 miles per hour. Looks like overnight we picked up about 1/4 of an inch of rain as well. Overnight tonight we'll have a chance of a few passing storms and a low of 69. 86 the high on Thursday. Once again, we'll have a chance of some scattered storms as well. 63 Thursday night, 92 on Friday, and 95 on Saturday.
South winds this morning at 10 miles per hour, partly cloudy at 70 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydromassage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Mike Welch, Center Bronick with you on this Wednesday, the 25th day of June for 2025. Got baseball again coming up later on, 4:45 for the pregame show. 5 o'clock, the first pitch for the juniors game between Hastings and North Platte. Seniors will go at 7:30 tonight. Although with Tammy, who lives out there toward North Platte, she says, bring my muck boots. It's been raining all night long, and it's still raining in North Platte. Gross. So we'll check on the condition of the field here. As soon as I get off of the show, we'll make some calls and see if that game's still on.
There you go.
We'll post the updates on our Facebook page. So if you're interested in some Legion baseball tonight, stay tuned to our Facebook page. I'll let you know what's going on there. But evidently it's been raining for quite some time. I think I saw they had like 1.5 inches yesterday out in North Platte. So if it's still raining there, God, I might need some muck boots. My muck boots. I'll throw those in the car. Can I wear shorts with muck boots?
Hell yeah.
Will I look like a dork?
Yeah.
If I walk in with my shorts and my muck boots on.
Here's the thing, and I've always said this about myself. I don't care if I look like a dork because I am a dork. So it doesn't bother me if I look dorky when I go out in public.
But that bothers me. I care what other people think about me. I don't want to be the topic of discussion. I don't want to be the guy that people talk about when they're sitting in the stands saying, hey, did you see that guy walk in?
Did you see that schmuck with muck boots and shorts?
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. I just want to walk in and do the game and get the hell out of there. I don't want people sitting in the stands looking at me or talking about me in the stands as I come in with my shorts and my muck boots on.
Well, then find a pair of tennis shoes that you don't want.
That I know it's going to get yucky.
Like your mowing shoes.
Oh, jeez. Tammy says Jimmy wears shorts and muck boots along with his tube socks.
No one's looking at
God, that would be even dorkier yet. Walk in with your tube socks, your muck boots.
Hey, man, it prevents you from mosquito bites.
And your shorts.
You're just mosquito preventing.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm not wearing muck boots. If I have to wear muck boots to the game tonight, probably the game shouldn't be played.
There you go.
Yeah, if the field is that far under water or that much mud on the field, we probably shouldn't be playing the game tonight.
You heard it here first.
So I'll let you know how that transpires. I'll make some calls here when I get off the air. So anyway, we're supposed to have Legion baseball tonight, 4:45 starting time, but Tammy has already chimed in. She says it's raining cats and dogs. Raining cats and dogs. And where'd that phrase come from? You ever heard that?
Oh,
Boy,
yeah.
It's raining cats and dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that phrase come from? What do you mean it's raining cats and dogs? It's not raining cats and dogs. We have heavy rain falling. It's not raining cats and dogs.
Well, it's probably from back, when they were a little bit more politically correct with what they're saying, and they didn't want to be like, man, we're getting a shit ton of rain. My guess is they're like, hey, how can we politely say this?
Cats and dogs?
I don't know.
How come it's not raining cows and chickens?
We should investigate the phrase.
It's not raining cats and dogs. That's stupid.
The origin of the phrase.
Cats and dogs. You're going to bring that up at this time of the day? We're already in overtime and you're going to research.
I didn't bring up anything.
I'm
you
saying
brought it up.
That we got heavy rain in North Platte and it's not raining cats and dogs. God.
I have no further comments, Your Honor.
I'm still reading Tammy's stuff that she's chiming in on. Jim Schleicher, our guy that we always bring in on Friday morning to talk about the ponies.
Uh-huh.
This is his wife Tammy that's texting us. Jim one time wore cowboy boots and took her dancing.
Yes.
Probably in his shorts and his
shorts
and his knee-high socks.
Yes. It's the way to do it.
All right.
That's how you woo them.
Yeah, that's how you woo a woman these days. You walk in with your shorts, your muck boots, your knee-high socks. You grab your favorite chick and you take her dancing.
Nothing speaks more of self-confidence than a guy who can rock cowboy boots and knee-high socks and shorts.
And then take some girl dancing.
You are the most self-confident person on the face of the earth, and I appreciate that about you.
Remind us. We'll talk to Jimmy about that on Friday when we talk to him.
Rock your muck boots and shorts tonight, buddy.
If he can recollect the time that he took his wife dancing with his cowboy boots or his muck boots and his shorts. We'll have Jimmy paint the scene for us when we talk to him on Friday.
Stay comfortable.
God. All right, anything else going on today that we haven't talked? We've talked about everything today. Nothing really newsworthy or important, but that's what it's going to be here in the month of July when it's coming up. When we get by the 4th of July holiday, there's not going to be a whole lot going on in the sporting world until we can really dive in to college football and pro football. So there's going to be some shows like this in the next couple of weeks that we just talk about anything that really comes to mind. But a lot of times when you and I get together for a conversation like this, history will show that we come up with some pretty good stuff.
Sometimes we solve the world problems.
Sometimes
can really
we
solve the world's problems. Sometimes we solve the city's problems. Sometimes we solve our own problems.
Yeah, we probably need to get the mayor on.
Sometimes we solve problems that we didn't even know existed.
And sometimes we create more problems than we really need.
I wasn't going to say that, but you're right on track.
Yeah, sometimes we create problems. So anyway, that's what's ahead for this show here in the next couple of weeks.
I'm getting a tour of the Schneezy building today.
You are?
The new Schneezy building that's been built downtown.
Yeah.
We're going to take a little tour of that and probably chat about that tomorrow.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Sending you out on assignments. Don't be wearing your muck boots.
Oh, it's nice here.
Yeah. Just put on your shorts and your muck boots once and see what kind of reaction you get.
I don't even have muck boots.
You got any kind of overshoes or boots?
I have one pair of nice brown shoes and I have one pair of tennis shoes.
That's it.
And then I have cowboy boots.
Put your cowboy boots on to go get the tour of the Schneezy building.
No, I can't.
put on the shorts and the cowboy boots.
I don't have that much self-confidence.
God, I'm not wearing muck boots tonight. Anyway, I'll let you know about baseball as soon as I receive word. If not, I'm heading to North Platte today.
Have fun.
Gonna be on fumes tomorrow morning, but I'll be here. 7 o'clock starting time tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for joining us. If you'd like to listen to this show again, you can.
Do it.
Go to our podcast section and download the show again. Listen to it at your convenience, even on Roku TV. There's a spot to listen to this show again. Thanks for joining us. We'll do it again tomorrow morning at 7 here on Extreme Sports.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.